I want to start off this video by saying I did not grow up with or around East Asian culture. So when I talk about East Asian culture later in this video, everything comes from stories of East Asians and Koreans that are explaining their culture. As a K-pop fan that talks about K-pop publicly, I think opinions about K-pop are baseless if they're not formed with the understanding and education of Korean culture. To think that K-pop is a separate entity of Korea and K-pop isn't a manifestation of parts of Korea and Korean culture is insane. And it leads to a lot of uneducated takes about K-pop because people don't do research to understand Korea's culture and how we got here in the first place.
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
There are so many examples of K-pop idols getting harassed with massive amounts of hate, protests taking place, or even getting kicked out of K-pop groups, left careerless, treated unfairly by the industry, to say the least, or straight up getting blackballed by the industry due to an uproar from fans. You learn when you get into K-pop how much power Korean netizens and K-pop fans have over famous Koreans. And today we're going to talk about the K-pop idols specifically. If they do not approve of something and they band together, which they do a lot, that could result in your favorite K-pop idol getting kicked out of a group that they've been in for years as quick as tomorrow. Now, of course, being an American, because that is all I can speak on, where famous people can literally get away with murder, there are famous people that have gotten away with murder. Like, publicly, people know about these things and they're still booked, busy, and paid. The general public lets celebrities in America get away with virtually anything because at the end of the day, there's still going to be a group of people that support them no matter what they do. American celebrities get away with things that are so heavily punished by the general public of Korea. So when American K-pop fans hear the harshness of how K-pop idols are treated, or just Korean celebrities in general are treated because of things that they do, for example, drunk driving, which drunk driving is bad. Don't do that, right? But there are so many celebrities in America that have drunk driven and people don't give a fuck or forget within a week. Or falling down slowly on your scooter because you were inebriated, or rumors of dating or actually dating someone. It can be quite shocking. With musicians specifically in the Western music industry, for the most part, they're just packaged as musicians. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a shit ton of Western music artists that have insane Parasocial fans, but you will absolutely get looked at with the most bombastic of side eye if you think that these artists exist just for you. And that's part of the reason why I feel like Western music artists can get away with essentially anything. Since a part of being a K-pop idol means that you exist for the fans will take everything that K-pop idols do as personal and having to do with them. For example, when Bangchan was expressing his grievances and talking about boundaries, his fans were like, oh my God, he's mad at us. Like, how are you making this about you? Or if a K-pop idol dates or has dating rumors, the fans will make it about themselves. The fans will be like, oh my God, the K-pop idol isn't dating me. And then they get super upset. Or if the K-pop idol's married, they're not married to me. So then they protest and want them to get kicked out of a group. Since in the West, for the most part, these artists are just musicians, why would we take anything they do as personally or as a reflection of the fans? Yes, like I said before, there's obviously parasocialism within the Western music industry, but because America is a individualist society, we don't really feel that these musicians have anything to do with or are a reflection of us. A lot of us, which I think now that I'm thinking about it, is definitely where the argument of separate the art from the artist comes from, because a lot of us understand that we more have a connection to the art that the person is coming out with. But a whole conversation for another day. So these musicians can do a bunch of drugs and speed and drunk drive and have huge public affairs and just do really crazy things, or just like date or be in romantic relationships publicly. Because when it comes to parasocialism within the Western music industry, these artists are not marketed as existing for us. So yes, of course we have parasocialism, but it's a little different in the Western music industry versus the K-pop industry. It's not the collective that's going to get upset because one musical artist is dating another musical artist. And actors won't be expected to apologize and repent and receive such insane heavy backlash for cheating on their partners or dating or etc. So let's get into why I think fans have so much power over these K-pop idols' careers and them either continuing on or stopping. Jobs all require something, right? When you are a K-pop idol, a part of your unwritten contract, or literally written in the contract, is that you have to deliver on your side of the parasocial relationship. When you sign up for a job, there are certain things that are expected for you. If you're a janitor, it's to clean up the space that you're in. If you're a waiter, it's to deliver food from kitchen to table, among other things. If you're a musician, what's expected of you is to make music. But when you're a K-pop idol, it's not just the music. It's the parasocial relationship that you're expected to deliver on to. It's not just the music, dancing, or visuals that you're expected to keep up with. It's the most important part that keeps fans loyal, the parasocial relationship. The parasocial relationship goes both ways. It's not just the person who's receiving it, it's the person who the fan is being parasocial to. And the K-pop idol is supposed to uphold their parasocial part of the bargain. And anything that breaks the illusion of the parasocial relationship between fan and idol is not allowed. No dating, because that breaks the illusion that these K-pop idols want you, only you, and that they're only singing about and performing for you. If they're dating someone else, that means that they're singing about that other person and that their life isn't completely devoted to you and they don't fully exist for you. No talking to another idol or person of the opposite gender, because all K-pop idols are straight, right? And if they talk to someone of the opposite gender, there's a chance that the idol might develop feelings for this person, which goes back to the no dating rule. And oh my gosh, the fans can get jealous because it's about catering to the fans. This tweet describes it perfectly. There are people that genuinely feel like this parasocialness is law. They feel because they're supporting these idols that they're expected something in return. There's a sense of ownership over these idols because they aren't marketed as an artist that creates art for their own pleasure, but as objects that only exist within the context of what their fans want. I'm watching all the content. I'm buying every single shirt and hoodie. I'm traveling to multiple stops, paying for concert tickets. I'm buying every version of the light stick. I'm buying 80 different albums for one comeback. I'm streaming day and night. I'm making a fan page and edits for you. I'm telling all my friends about you. There are fans that obviously do it because they love it, but there are a good amount of fans that feel like the relationship between them and the idol is transactional. I'm showing up for you and doing this for you, and now I am expecting something in return. That conversation about how some K-pop fans will stan Nugu groups that are less known because of their proximity to them, and that one person who kept giving the K-pop idols money or donating to them or something like that, so they were expecting that these idols would have to do what the fan wanted. I show up and put money in your pocket, so you show up and play your responsibility of this relationship, leaving that air of accessibility to me. And that air of accessibility is not dating or having a personal life. And that's the sacrifice that you gave up as a K-pop idol, because part of what you signed on your contract is that parasocialism. To me, the K-pop industry markets these idols as objects of our desires versus humans that make art. Whether you want to look like them or wear the clothes that they're wearing or have the products that they have, which is why all of that stuff that they have or use sells out in a second. Or if you want to date them, which is why people get so outraged when they're even pictured with someone of the opposite gender or have dating rumors or are dating, and have to come out with an apology to their fans if they are dating. They're marketed as objects of our desires while simultaneously being untouchable. Also, one of the reasons why K-pop idols are so policed when it comes to saying their own opinions or posting certain things and not speaking up on certain things on social media is because, think about it. What is the best way to be an object of someone's desire and idolized? To be a blank slate. That way, when you mix parasocialism in, it's easy for fans to fill in the blanks and assume things about the idol. That's why a lot of fans, whether knowingly or subconsciously, treat idols as vessels to push their own ideas through. You don't have the right to easily intrude on our narrative, not just us, but other artists as well. We are not your items/commodities. I hope you don't think you can use us and enjoy us as you please. While I 100% agree with and am super happy that Sungkwan spoke out on a topic that is, especially a topic that's so ingrained in the K-pop industry, we can't really be shocked when fans think that these idols are items that exist for them, because unfortunately that is literally how the K-pop industry markets these K-pop idols. Face is a term in East Asian culture. It's really, really big in China, but we're gonna talk about it specifically in the context of Korea. Chaemyeon is the translation, and it is a social concept talking about someone's reputation or social standing. Obviously, reputation, especially when you're famous, is very important in the West, but the crushing weight of how the collective thinks of you isn't as intense here as it is in East Asian cultures. And that is definitely due to the fact that America is a individualist society. Individualism places importance on individuals' autonomy and freedom to do what they want to do. Each person is allowed to make their own choices and pursue their own goals. That's what the American dream is, pursuing your own individual goal and doing whatever it takes to get that. Collectivism emphasizes the group and collective over the individual. Everyone should be working towards the common goal of the group. Responsibility to others is highly valued. There's a great video that talks about this, which I'll link below, and she gives an example how children, and this is a generalization, but a lot of children in East Asian cultures give up their own hopes and dreams to pursue what their parents want them to do, because it is the betterment of the collective being the family in this case. There was also a example, a girl broke up with her boyfriend because her parents did not approve of the job that the boyfriend had. They thought that the job that the boyfriend had did not match the job that the daughter had. This is a pretty normalized thing in East Asian culture, and once again, it goes back to sacrificing what you want for the betterment of the group, the betterment of the collective. Collectivist culture is in places like China, Indonesia, and Korea, and individualist culture is in places like America, the UK, or Australia. Certain words that you can attach to individualism are uniqueness, identity, self-expression, and being assertive, while for words that you can attach to collectivism is the responsibility that you have, sacrifice, obedience, and being cooperative. It's viewing people as unique versus viewing people as being a part of a group. If you don't know, in Korea, you're not called by your first name. I saw a video of a Korean talking about the culture shock of when they went to a family's house in America, the mom was calling them by their first name. That is not a thing in Korea. In Korea, your title is based off of the relation to your family and to others. That's why they're called hyung, 언니, 오빠, 여동생, even in-laws have titles. So in a collective society, of course, face or chaemyeon is going to be very important. There's also the concept of losing face, which occurs when something embarrassing happens or whatever the group says is embarrassing, or gaining face, which is the opposite, whatever the collective accepts as being good. You can literally be ostracized in your community due to losing face. If the collective does not like what you're doing, you can be ostracized. Does that sound similar to getting kicked out of a K-pop group because the fans don't like that you have a dating rumor or dated? Maybe. Are we starting to get it now? While I don't think this is the main reason to answer the title of my video, it's very important for you to know and for it to be brought up. If you grew up in an individualistic culture and you're on the outside looking in without this context, it can be very shocking and you can be very confused as to why fans have so much power. Of if they don't approve of what a K-pop idol is doing, they can literally get the K-pop idol kicked out of the group. But if you understand that one of the very important things to East Asian culture is your social currency and face, and that is based on how people view you, you won't be as shocked. So I think the reason why fans have so much power over these K-pop idols is because, one, these K-pop idols are marketed as existing for the fans. They're given restrictions and essentially treated like a doll for the fans to be entertained by. These restrictions being not being able to publicly have relationships or even talk to coworkers they've had for years just because they're a different gender from them, and the fans will get jealous or upset, and that breaks the illusion that they're not dating the fan specifically. All of these things go against what the fan wants, and what the fan wants is number one. Number two, what people think of you, social currency, the concept of face, and that being so ingrained in East Asian culture and Korean culture. How people view you is so important and holds so much weight. So it actually does kind of make sense that fans and Korean netizens have so much power, to the point where if they all come together, they can get members kicked out of groups. Number three, in the K-pop industry, parasocial relationships are one of the foundations to why the K-pop music industry is intrinsically different to the Western music industry. Parasocialism is one of the most important things, and as a K-pop idol, when you are breaking the illusion of parasocial relationships created by these companies, you are literally going against the foundation of what it is to be a K-pop idol and existing within the K-pop industry. I just wanted to bring up the concept of face in East Asian culture, and specifically Korean culture, because while, like I said before, it's not a main point to answer this question and like the main reason why this question exists, you need to know the concept of face. And overall, you must know at least a little bit of history of Korea and Korean culture if you're going to consume anything about Korean culture. There's this great TikTok, which I'll also link below, that talks about the consumption of Korean culture without understanding or knowing the context of Korean culture and Korean history, which is why you get these really uneducated, uninformed takes. That is today's video. I really think I am stepping up my game when it comes to these K-pop commentary videos. Besides the fact that my commentary videos are really, really good, I am now really learning a lot more about Korean culture. And like I said before, and in another TikTok, if you're consuming Korean culture and you have a public platform and you know nothing about East Asian culture and are talking about K-pop, your takes are going to be very uneducated and uninformed. Like the concept of skinship. We don't have skinship in America. That's not a thing. So of course, if you're looking through it with an American lens, any male K-pop idols that are heavily on top of each other, you're going to be like, oh my God, they're gay, that's gay. You need to understand the Korean culture, because once again, to think that you just fell up out of a coconut tree, like you exist within a context of and are being born into a manifestation of history and culture that happened before you, and you need to understand that. So I really do feel like I am understanding K-pop now on a level deeper than surface, because I'm doing research on and hearing stories from Korean people just talk about their culture. So these commentary videos are really about to eat, and I am super excited. I did not say this in the beginning of the video, but I want to say this here. If you grew up in East Asian culture, and if you're Korean, and if I said anything wrong, if I left anything out, which I obviously absolutely have, please comment below. This channel and the videos that I make are made to educate and to help people understand that things aren't just black or white, and to invite conversation. So please, this is your, like, me talking about Korean culture, I am a visitor here. Please comment below anything I left out. If you want to correct me if I'm wrong, XYZ. I am going to be coming out with commentary videos or just videos about K-pop in general every single week. So subscribe so you don't miss. I have a podcast called The State of K-pop where I talk about all things K-pop, which is a monthly thing too. And if you want to keep up with me, I post daily on Instagram and TikTok, which are both Indigo Detry. I've never done a thing like this before where I'm promoting myself, but yeah, I also make music. I have a song coming out at some point. So, I also do I'm also a rapper. I do rap freestyles to my favorite K-pop songs. So I will link my K-pop verses in the YouTube channel down below, and I also just post them on Instagram. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm so hungry. Life ain't okay, drama.